Oh. 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 Y'all about to bore me to death. Hello, YouTube. Y'all see the knockdown drag out? Here I was thinking that I was about to see the Cassius Clay whooping on Donald Duck. And what do I get? Y'all go over there and tell Jay Wilson to take that title down off of his video. Stop tricking people. He got people over there thinking him and Tommy Sotomayor are on this thing together. Jay Wilson has a chat with Tommy Sotomayor. You go there and there's no Tommy Sotomayor. Isn't that false advertising? Isn't that false advertising? All right, people. We all know that Tommy Sotomayor is a terrible person. He's an awful human being. So ain't nobody here to defend no Tommy Sotomayor. He's just awful. He's one of the worst people on the internet. But you guys know how I feel about Jay Wilson. That's a different story. But I was confused because I thought that they were supposed to be coming on, and then I realized that Jay Wilson's on his channel. He wants to try to get the coin. Tommy Sotomayor is on his channel playing Jay Wilson live. He refused to come on Jay Wilson's channel. I refuse to believe it's the coin. I mean, how much coin? That boy, he's got like 30 channels, right? Tommy Sotomayor. He's got like 30 channels. So he's used to making money from this thing. His current number on the video that he's using now is 36,000 people. But I've seen his numbers up as high as 200,000 or 300,000 people. So they're spread out over various channels. But even though I don't like him, I don't like any of the ways he thinks about black people, particularly black women. I don't agree with hardly anything Tommy Sotomayor thinks or believes. Then he tries to cover it with this documentary, which is on his page, about how he's so concerned with the black people and the black community. That's not what I've seen, and that's not what I've seen over the last few years. I did have videos about him long time ago, and I refused to go back because it's just somebody I didn't want to engage with. But I thought, well, this is interesting. I saw he went off on Miss Five Babe. We recently fell out, so I ain't going to go into that. I don't like kicking nobody when they're down. But that's the way he usually is, right? So I figured, let me go over and see him whip on Jay Wilson a little bit. Didn't happen. Then Jay Wilson, I'll say this, since we're just reporting on this thing, Jay Wilson caught him off guard. You see, apparently they had a run-in this morning, or an encounter, and Wilson said, I got to go to work, which almost none of us believe he has a job. He said, I have to go to work. I'll come back in 3 hours, right? So he summoned this man at 3:45. I don't know who told Jay Wilson he was in a position to be summoning somebody who's got 250,000 subscribers, and they were going to actually respond to your command. But in his mind, he feels like this man's supposed to show up because he summoned him, right? Anyway, so Jay Wilson, he landed a blow because Tommy Sotomayor was not prepared for the doxing. See, people say they're not doxing, but Jay Wilson comes on with this person. I guess he wants to hide his real name, or is not public knowledge. I don't know, but he seemed to take a real offense that Jay Wilson was using his real name. And then Jay Wilson goes into this thing about his child support, his back child support, and about various things in his past. So, cut to the chase, Jay Wilson has totally doxed this man. So while he said he was at work, he needed 3 hours before he's ready. He was using that 3 hours basically to dox this dude and get all this information. It takes a little time to put everything together, right, in sequence. So he caught him off guard because Tommy. See, here's how I've said over and over again in my videos. You can't read a person who you do not know. You can't do it. You can try to talk about if they got something strange with their eyebrows and something like that. But you have to know the person. You see? So Jay Wilson took this 3 hours. He go and research this dude's life to come back at him with all this information. He cut him off guard. So off guard, in fact, that Sotomayer does seem a little frazzled. And he said, I would never engage with these people again because you're doxing. So I guess he took it to heart, this thing about the child support and so forth, because Sotomayer is always talking about his daughter and all he does for his daughter, but he never mentions these other children, right? So it never happened. Nothing happened. Wilson went on. I know y'all don't want me. Y'all want me to be on the side of this sector and all this kind of stuff, but Wilson went on like he was the victor. He was Muhammad Ali instead of Daffy Duck, because this man refused to come and have a debate with him. I don't know why they couldn't just debate the issues. I mean, Sotomayor, you know enough about him to know what the issues are. Why are we talking about his prison record, which is a place where Wilson always goes, Oh, I know something about you. If you're going to debate an issue, debate the issue. You send it for him, but you're going to get him over there and trick him then with all this information that you've doxed. You people, we don't, they do it so often now, they don't even understand what doxing is. Now, like I said, ain't nobody defending no Tommy Sotomayor's. That's not the point. But be prepared, people. This dude, he had no information on Wilson. See, if you know a person, since I followed Wilson at a time and he followed me at a time, I have all of this history of knowing all of his various moves, all the things that he's done, all the things that he said, right? So I can read him because I know the book. I can read the book because I know what the book is. If this dude decides to go and research Wilson, then it's when you're going to have a fight. You see what I mean? Be quiet. So I'm unimpressed and bored to tears with this interaction. Now, he did get some blows in on Miss Phi Babe. And, it's all about clout and all this kind of stuff. But be careful, people, about playing with these rattlesnakes. You don't know what you're going to dig up. So I need to see now 5 people that made videos about Tommy Sotomayor. And he should be. I mean, he's fair game. There's certainly a lot of information out there about him. But be prepared, people. Because if he does research on your life, does his due diligence and doxing, then he's going to come back and rip your head off. I don't know why he was able to do Phi Babe so thoroughly. I believe probably because part of the jokes he used against Phi Babe are the ones he's used against other black women. Because for years, he's made his living by talking about black women, right? So he had a couple of really funny jibes that he used on her, but I suspect he's used them before. This was his ammunition. I do think Sotomayor has more of a problem with dealing with men. He don't have that vitriol or that deep-seated pain with men like he does with women, particularly black women, right? So we don't know if it's over with yet, but I was very disappointed. Bored. I had got myself something to eat. I got myself some nice cold drink of soda. I don't drink alcohol, but I was prepared. I said, "Oh, this ought to be fun," because first, from what I can tell, Wilson went and made a video about calling him Uncle Ruckus or something like that. So he was inviting him to the party. He shouldn't be surprised that a man showed up at the party. He was inviting him to the party. Both of them wanted to do it on their channel where they feel comfortable. Wilson has not learned his lesson yet about all this coin stuff. I don't think Tommy Sotomayor is worried about your $100 to a couple $100 in super chats. I don't think that would be something that would impress him. But for you, it's everything. So you kept mentioning about you going to get a coin. You ain't going over there. I ain't going to get no coin. I don't get no coin. If you want to debate somebody, just go and debate them. Just go and debate them on the issues, honey. Anyway, Enough said about all that bullshit. Much ado about nothing is what I saw.